From somewhere in the United States of America is Trucker John O.T.R. Who knows where I'll be live streaming from? It could be a rest area. It could be a truck stop. Or maybe even a Walmart parking lot. That's right. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's the Trucker John OTR live stream. That's right.
That's right.
It's going down. It's going down.
It's going down. Remember those days? Used to be in the truck. Used to start the show with my intro. Remember those good old days? So today, as you can see, hey Jolie. I am just at the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino, and I just went down and grabbed some breakfast down at McDonald's. It's no Blueberry Hill. I'll tell you that much for sure, by golly. But oh man, a little piece of bacon went down the wrong tube. But anyhow, it's quick and it's easy and fast and all that kind of stuff. So I just thought I'd go run down there and get me a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. See there? This is the one show on the internet where you get to watch a guy eat. Let's see. Here I am. Here's the view out of the room. It's really cloudy. Can you see the clouds? I thought this was going to happen. Because yesterday it was bright and sunny. And I think we hit 70 degrees, maybe 75 degrees yesterday. And now today it's cloudy and overcast, and I don't know if we're going to get any rain or not. But we might. Hey, Julie. How you doing? Thanks for coming on. Hey, Julie. It's not coming in. Can you not see me? Hey, Rose. Love the clouds. So Rose and Jolie can see. Julie, can you see? You can't see the show? You can't see me feeding my face? I can't see the video. I just have a circle and a dark screen. Can everybody else see? Because if everybody else can see, then it's just must be something on your end. Maybe. Hey, Kennethado, how you doing? Good morning. Even though I know you're East Coast, it's what, 12:24 in Florida. But I'm still gonna say good morning because it's morning somewhere. Oh yeah, it's morning right here, where I'm at. Okay, so we got Rose, we got Jolie, we got Julie. I think I think this is the first time Julie has checked in. Julie Verhagen, for those of you who don't know, is an old friend from high school. An old buddy. From my high school days. So it's really nice to see Julie in here. I know I'm going to keep tripping over like Julie and Jolie, and my daughter's name is Jaylee. So I will keep stumbling over that probably. KO says, I had to go directly to YouTube app to see it. The Common Rose, it's been happening to me with a lot with YouTube lives. And KO says, the link did not get me past the invite. Well, I don't know what to tell you because YouTube does its own thing. Hey, Laura in Michigan, how you doing? I'm in my room here at the Stratosphere Hotel Casino, top floor. Top floor, by the way, like that means anything. Last week I had a room on the 19th floor, which was much better than this room. So I don't think it really matters. But let's see if you want to see my messy room. This is my room. I got 2 queen beds. It's just, basic. This is just the basic room, but it does have a high ceiling because it's the top floor. So down there you got some of the buildings, like the Sahara Hotel. Well, those 2 kind of twin towers there. Oh, I shouldn't say that because the people think of 9/11. I don't think that's the Sahara. That's something else. And then way back behind there is the West Gate, like right between the 2 tall buildings, I guess. But this is what it's looking like in Las Vegas today. A bit cloudy and overcast. And hey, so West Webb? Is West Webb here? Is West Webb in the house? So yeah, hi Laura. There's West Webb. Good morning to West Webb. And make sure you guys hit the thumbs ups. Hit that thumbs up button for me. We got 6 people watching and only 4 thumbs up. So let's make sure we hit the thumbs up. And make sure you like and subscribe and share. So yeah, I'm just sitting here eating breakfast. I've been Ubering. The Ubering has been going pretty cool. I really do like it. I don't know. It's just, I guess I like to drive. I guess I'm a driver and I like to drive. I just wish it paid more. If it paid more, I would do it more. I would make sure to do it. I would quit my job, or I would quit my truck driving job right now. Like if it paid as much as truck driving pays, I would quit truck driving and I would just become an Uber driver. But unfortunately, it doesn't. So as soon as my truck is ready, I'll be getting back on the road. But I think I'm gonna try to work this in where I do this because it's a nice break from truck driving. It really is. Truck driving. I've been doing that for almost 20 years, man. And so it was nice to have this break. And then still find something that brings in some income, And I think I will make a video that shows the breakdowns of the income and everything. Because I know that Jolie and other people are interested in maybe doing that, maybe being a Uber driver. And if you have, like me, my car was too old to get accepted. So I had to. Well, I guess I didn't have to, but I rented a car. I mean, I guess I could have bought a car, a newer car, but I decided to go ahead and rent since I'm only going to be here until my truck is fixed, for one thing, and then it gives me a chance to just check out if I even like it, and it turns out I do like it. I like it. I like doing it very much. The AC's blowing right now. I hope that's not too loud for you. If it's too loud, let me know, and I'll see if I can shut it off. KO says, dude, every time you maintenance your truck. Yeah, usually my truck isn't down for this amount of time, but yeah. Wes says, have potatoes cooking upstairs. Be right back. Jolie says AC is fine. Okay, and I just shut off, so I don't know if you noticed any difference or not. Anyhow. So, but the Ubering is really cool. And if you just did it, now I don't know about other cities. Las Vegas is awesome because this is like a 24/7 town. And I really think you can pick just about any schedule you want. And you can, stay busy. I'm not sure about other cities. And I think Vegas it might be one of the best cities to do this in. Because there's just so much going on, so many people are here. Tourism is really coming back. The places, these few weeks that I've been here, this is the busiest I've seen this place in the 3 years that I've lived here. Of course, when I moved here, that was right before the pandemic started. Just a few months before the pandemic started. And then this place became a ghost town. It was weird. I mean, for parts of that, when there was all these shutdowns going on and everything, and you could drive up and down the strip, and it was dark. I mean, they actually shut down casinos and shut off lights and stuff. It was just weird and eerie. Ew. It gives me the creeps thinking about it. It was so weird. And then they gradually started opening. They had all those restrictions, and there was still like limitations on how many people could come in, I think, and there was like social distancing, and they were working on reduced staffs, in these hotels and casinos, and it was really just a former shell of itself, for like a couple of years, and then and now, well, gradually for about the last year, it's been coming back, and to now I would say it's fully 100% back, where the strip is just jam packed full of people. Fremont Street is jam packed full of people. So we're back, baby. Vegas is back. KO says, I am interested in how much you make versus how much you pay for the rental. Yeah. Laura Misha says, you must have been crazy to see everything dark like that on the strip. It was so weird. I remember I drove down just a couple times just to check it out. And there would be only like a couple cars on the strip, Yeah, the place was just shut down. It was just eerie and weird. It was like something you'd see in a movie. It was really like post-apocalyptic kind of thing, seeing Vegas just like shut down, man. But as far as Uber, going back to Ken's question. Okay, so how much you make versus how much you pay. Now, I've been doing it kind of half-assed, I guess, maybe, as far as how many hours I put in. Because some days I'll only do two or 3 hours, and then on some days I'll do 6 or 7 hours. And I think you can do like, because they do put you on a almost like with truck driving, you have hours of service. You can only drive 11 hours in a 14-hour period. They kind of do that on here on the app. It shows, it knows when you started, right? And I don't know, I forget what it is. It's not 11 hours, I think, but you can work like 13 hours or something like that. In other words, they do put a limit on how many hours you can work in a day or whatever. But so I guess, but if you max it out, you could probably make a lot of money. Because I've been averaging out some of. I mean, it's not really like, I don't know. I haven't worked it all out, so it's not exactly perfect. But my some of the days that I've looked at, of how many hours I've worked, and then how much money I earned during that, it comes out to about like $23 an hour, or something like that. So but it seems like my days, okay, like I say, like I don't know, yesterday I did like a few hours. It seems like Monday is sort of like my light day or whatever. And then I start picking it up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday. So Friday and Saturday, like, those are the days that you should be working, especially here in Vegas. But I think my longest day that I've worked, driving, where I've been on the app, I don't know if I've broken 7 hours. It's usually 6.5 hours, maybe close to 7 hours. And it just depends on, because they have different rates, they have different surging. There's like the surge. So some days I might make, if I work, let's say I work 6 hours, so you might make $157, $160. Sometimes I make it's $180, $190, whatever. So the cost of the rental, let's go there. To rent I had the gasoline powered car, right? The first 2 weeks, the Ford Escape. I was gonna say Escort. Uh, like if you go on the app, and you can go on the Uber app to, like, if you want to be a driver, it'll take you to like what to do to be a driver, and it'll say there's a link to go to like rent cars or whatever, and so it'll say like for the car, it'll say 275 a week or something like that. I think, whatever it is. And then, so you get that car, but when it's all said and done, they actually every week that you have the car, they'll deduct, debit from your checking account or whatever. It's like $393 a week because they take another extra money for, I guess it's like a deposit, and I think you get that, like, then when you turn that car in, you get, it's sort of like that is it's carried over. I don't know. I don't know. I got confused on that. All I know is that they were taking out like $393 a week, and some of that is some sort of deposit that you would get back at the end, like a couple $100 or whatever it is. So when you go to the Tesla, it's the weekly. They'll say on there the weekly rental is like, I want to say it was like four something. I forget what they said, like 440 or something like that. And then, so then that weekly deduction, I think it's like 470 or something like that. I don't even remember, but it's something like 470. Okay. I've switched over to drinking black coffee, by the way, and I like it. I've been drinking my coffee black for like a couple weeks now, or I mean, about like a week. I guess. So anyhow, let's just say your rental for, if you, well, let's use the Tesla since that's what I'm in now. I think it's about 470 a week is what they will charge me, and then, or maybe it's 460, because I think I was, whatever, it's 460, 470. And then you got to charge the vehicle, and that costs money. And I'm trying to think how much I've spent so far in charging since last Thursday. Today's only Tuesday. I think it's been about $50. So I figure you figure now charging rates might be a little different in different parts of the country, but it's probably, I bet you it all comes pretty close, right? But we're probably in the same ballpark. So you could probably figure you're going to spend at least $50 or $60 a week charging if you're going to run every day, or at least 5 or 6 days a week. So now you're looking at 520, 530. Your weekly expenses are about 530. Let's say ballpark. So I think in Vegas, I can only really speak for Vegas. I don't know about other cities, other towns. But if you work 6 or 7 hours a day, at least here in Vegas, you're going to make probably anywhere from 150 to close to 200 a day. So those first 4 days basically is what, let's just say the first 4 days you work in the week pretty much are all going to cover those expenses, right? So it just depends on, do you want to work? Do you want to do it? So if you really want to clear any money, Okay, so I guess the fifth day, so you're gonna make 150 bucks. Is that what that's what you would clear? This is all ballpark. We're all this is total ballpark in it here. But so let's say you do another 6 or 7 hours, you make 150 or 160 bucks, 170 bucks. So I guess what I'm saying, in order to really, I think in order to make it, you probably have to work like maybe 8 hour days, because then you would make more than that 150, right? Probably you probably break 200 maybe. Uh, and you might have to work at least 6 days a week, maybe even 7. But you don't have to do the good thing about it. The beautiful thing about it is you can do whatever you want. I mean, if you're not feeling it, you just turn off the app. So if you want to work 4 hours, just work 4 hours. You want to work 8 hours, do 8 hours. You want to do 10 hours, do 10 hours. And like I said, I don't know about other cities, but if I worked 10 hours, it would be steady. I bet you it would just be steady, nonstop. There would be no time where I was just sitting waiting for, you know, a ride to come in. I don't know about other towns, Of course, the smaller the town, then probably the less riders there are. So in Vegas, if I put more hours into it, if I really did like 8 hours a day or whatever, I would come out ahead as far as like, the make more than those expenses. But I'm not really making that much money. I mean, compared to like truck driving, I know truck driving is not the greatest job in the world. It's not the most it's not the highest paying job in the world. But I mean, in truck driving, you usually clear at least, I don't know, 1,500 or a couple grand a week, and sometimes you have a really good week where you clear 4 or 5 grand or whatever. Sometimes even 6 grand. But in this job, you might just clear a few $100s for the week. 500, 300, 400 might be what you might clear if you do like 6 or 7 days a week. So it just depends on what you need. If all you need is to clear a few $100, and that's, that'll get you by, then do it. And I could do that because I don't have really too much expenses and stuff and bills and things. So that's why I'm thinking I could do this. I might just do this. Well, like if I sort of like retire or semi-retire from truck driving, then I think this would be a really cool thing to do. Because I guess you can, like, if I retired, let's say, and like if I took my, my, whatchamacallit, Social Security and all that shit. I guess I could just, if I only made a few $100. I guess you can still work, right? If you a little, I don't even know. I have to look up the rules, like of how much, because I think you can still have part-time jobs or whatever, even if you claim your retirement. I'm 62. That'd be pretty early. I was gonna wait. My plan was to wait till I was like 67 before I claimed any retirement. But maybe I'll do it early. I don't know. So to answer Ken, okay. So what was Ken's question again? He's interested in how much you make versus how much you pay. So like for me, like I said, I've been dilly dallying a bit here and there. I haven't really put in the hours probably that I should, but I have been able to clear. I have been able to make more than those expenses, the expenses of the rental and of the charging. Um, when I was doing the gas powered car, it was pretty much a wash, I think. It was kind of just breaking even. Because even though the Tesla it costs more to rent, you're paying a lot less in the energy cost. You're saving like $200. So that's the difference. So I'm able to at least uh, make a little bit more than that. So because I do have, so if I just did, it seems like my uh, the best way, I don't know how to explain it, but it seems like once I get like I say, Monday I'm kind of just catching up on things or whatever, and then it seems like the rest of the week I start doing more and more hours. So I'm doing like around 7 hours of driving, and then so let's say if I just did 7 hours a day, let's just say, because I'm trying to figure out if I should, for example purposes, if I should just do it like a 5-day work week, or this is like the gig economy, right? The gig job, and people don't necessarily think of a 5-day work week. That's kind of the beauty of the gig, right? Is that you can just log in and log out anytime you want on the app, and you can. So it's not certainly not like a structured 5-day work week. So what do people want to do? Do they want to work? How many days do they want to work? If you're renting a vehicle, you're going to have to work at least 5 days a week. Let's say if you had your own vehicle and it was within the Uber parameters, and they accepted it, and you just had your own vehicle, and so you're not having any rental, even if you're paying gasoline, uh, then you could do whatever you want. You could really do whatever you want. If you just want to do 1 day a week, or you want to do 5 days a week, or 3, whatever. How many you would have much more flexibility, I think. But once you start, if you are renting a vehicle, then you're going to have to work at least 4 days, four pretty good 7-8 hour days, to pay that off, or to pay that weekly cost, and pay for your energy, whether it's gas or electric. You're still paying for energy, so you're gonna have to put a good solid 4 days in just to cover that, and then you think, okay, well, then the rest of it is sort of like gravy or whatever, and So do you want to do that? Do you want to work a gig job? Do you want to do it 5 days, 6 days, 7 days? If you did 7 days a week, you'll make money. But then you're working 7 days a week. But the beautiful thing about it is you could just do a bunch of 7 days, and so then you're making so you're clearing. I don't know. You're only going to clear like $500 probably. I don't know. It's just an individual thing. But the thing is you can you can make more than the expenses. You can clear the expenses, but you're just gonna have to work. You're just gonna have to put the days in. You're gonna have to go at least 5 or 6 days a week. So it just depends on you, on the individual. Do you want to drive Uber cars for 5 or 6 or 7 days a week? So that you can clear, you know, maybe $450 or $500, you know. And like I said, I mean, you could probably drive 10 or 11 hours a day and you would make a lot more. I'm just thinking of like what I've been doing about on the longest days that I work, because I don't do it every day. So it's like 6.5 hours probably. I'll do a breakdown of it. I was going to make a video, or I'll screenshot, and because it has chart, because I can go into my earnings thing, and I don't think it has any. I'm not gonna be doxing myself. I don't think there's no social security numbers or any addresses or anything like that. It just shows the charts, how many hours I worked and how much money I made. And so I think I'm going to do a video of that, and that'll really show it. It'll be much more illustrative than what was coming out of this mouth right now. You know, I really like drinking black coffee. I've always drank. I mean, I've had black coffee over the years. But then it seems like I got into the habit of sweetening it, and putting in the creamers and putting in the sugar, and then it's like you're just getting addicted to that sweetness. So I like the fact that I've been drinking black coffee and I actually enjoy it. I've been drinking it black for like, I guess like a week. West Inquirer minds want to know. I put Canadian sweetener in my tea. I'm just drinking mine black. It's funny. There. Okay. I was wondering. The chat didn't. Oh wow, the chat didn't move. So sorry, man. We got Chad Freeman. Hi, Chad. Thanks for being here. I didn't even see that. So there's Chad, and I don't know what happened to Julie. She was here, but she said she couldn't see the video. She could only hear the audio, apparently. Now, Kenneth Otto says the best places to be an Uber driver, according to the internet, Washington, D.C. is number one, then San Diego, Denver, Atlanta, Florida, Miami, Florida, New Orleans, Houston, Texas. Do you know the way to San Jose in California, San Antonio, Columbus? Wow, really? So Vegas isn't even in the top 10. Well, wow. Well, maybe, I wonder if that was because of the pandemic or something. West Webb says all cities where it is hard to drive and difficult to park. KO says 11 Boston. West Webb, Columbus is a surprise. Might have thought that Boston would be higher on the list. KO says 12 Los Angeles. West Webb, and he says, I hear you calling me. He's putting in the song references, I think. West Webb, as long as you are liking it, John. I do like it. I do. I really do. KO says driving can earn $1,000 a week if full-time Uber drive in the right city. Um, yeah, you could earn $1,000 a week, but like I say that uh, 520 of it is going to be coming out of that for your if you're renting. If you're renting a Tesla. KO says there is a different survey. West Web says I'm starting Social Security this July. KO says 20. He's going down the list. San Jose. Oh, yeah, I thought we already had San Jose. 19, San Diego. Oh, now he's going kind of backwards. Salt Lake City is 14. Still no Vegas. West Web says no Uber in New York City. I think New York City, the taxi cab mafia has pretty much kept rideshare out of there. I call them mafia because they're a bunch of pricks, I think. I don't like taxi companies. West Webb says, plus you get to drive a Tesla. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that car. KO says 9 Chicago. We're counting down here, I guess. 8 Austin, 7. Oh, there's New York City. 6 Minneapolis, 5 Atlanta, 4 Seattle, 3 San Francisco, 2 Boston. And the number one. Oh, well, we already read the other one. But anyhow, Washington, D.C. KO says the survey is on World Atlas website. West Web Hotel included in expenses. No, because this is my. I don't include that in my expenses because I really don't. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have rent. I have a very, very small rent that I pay. It's another truck driver for a room that basically is just a storage. It's just a storage shed for me, so I don't even go over there hardly. So I count this as just being part of my my living expenses. I don't. That's like a whole separate thing. So in other words, uh, would I deduct that if I was renting an apartment or a house here in Vegas, or if I owned a house and had a mortgage? Would I deduct that uh, from my from the earnings from whatchamacallit? From the Uber earnings? I wouldn't, right? Because you got to live, right? I just consider this to be part of my rent. And by the way, this room was Monday, Tuesday. I got the Monday and Tuesday rates. It was like 20 something dollars, and then it always, there's always a resort fee, so it always comes out. You add another $40 on that, so and with tax and everything, it's like $60. So this is my rent. Um, West Web says informative. West Web says inquiring minds want to know. I put Canadian sweetener in my tea. KO says stevia and milk and coffee. No, just drink a black, guys. Come on, just be a man. Be men. Just kidding. West Web says participants only list you, me, and Ken. KO says stevia is the health drink I mix from juice, apple cider vinegar, and water. KO says the internet often has conflicting answers to questions like that. KO says what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so Vegas residents don't have to I guess, is it compete? Even though it says complete with out of town people. West Web, will Ubering pay for those expenses, or will you have to use savings? You talking about rent and food? And then West Web says, I can drink it black, but I like this cyclamate sweetener. Yeah, I know, KO. Compete. So let me reread your sentence. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so Vegas residents don't have to compete with out-of-town people. I do pick up a lot of Vegas residents, though. Living expenses. autocorrect. Um, if I did retire here, and I was here in town more, then I would get something. I'd probably buy something. Um, you know, just something small. And but that's like a whole separate issue. I have separate money for that. That's all separate. You know, eventually, I guess that's what I would be doing, no matter what, right? Whether I'm just like when I retire, I guess I'll have to have a house. Like right now, I really don't need a house or an apartment because like I say, I live in my truck, and then when I come here, I get these discounted rooms that is less than anything I could rent if I rented a house that I didn't live in 90% of the time. You know, the way my schedule has been, if I had a house or an apartment, I would not be in it. At least not at least 90, probably 95% of the time, it would be sitting there empty. And I've done that over the years. I've gone through that route, and I've had my house broken into at least 3 or 4 times, and I've had many of my valuable things stolen uh, because when I'm gone, people figure out you're gone, and they break into your fucking place and they steal your shit. So I got tired of that, and I've got all my stuff locked up in storage. I've got this one place I was talking about, plus I have another storage facility, and I pay for that, but that's not very much, a couple $100 a month or whatever, altogether between the two, and that's still cheaper than rent. If I Anything you rent, even a cheap, uh, gross rundown place in some crack whore infested neighborhood, is going to cost um, I don't know, $1,000 a month or whatever. That's the cheap end. That's the low end. So I don't spend that much in hotels. I spend way less than that. If you average that over the year, I spend way less on that on hotels per month. So KO says, in other words, smart people don't brag about what they make in your hometown. I don't know. I don't know about what that means, but so where was I going? So I'm just saying, okay, so when I do retire, yeah, I'm gonna need a more permanent house because I'll be home. I'll be living in it, and so it'll be worth me getting something then at that point. Like I said, with my driving schedule, my truck driving schedule, it hasn't been really worth. Like I said, I went through that for 15 years of my first, of driving, where and my houses were getting broken into and stuff. So, um, but yeah, so when do retire, yeah, I will look for something. I might rent, I might buy. I don't know. I still haven't decided. I might just buy a little mobile home or something. The only thing I don't like about mobile homes, because they do have some pretty nice ones that are pretty affordable, um, compared to some of these big houses are expensive. I don't need a big house. And some of these mobile homes or manufactured homes, they look nice, and that's all I need. I don't need something really big and huge. The only thing I don't like the idea of having to pay, like rent space. Like if I bought the house, if I bought a place, um, and I owned it free and clear, let's say, because there's things on there for like some of these homes, 50, 60 grand, and but then you still have to pay the rent space, and there's something about that just bugs me. And some of those are like 600, 700, $800 a month. So I feel like you're just renting still. But even if you own that home, that manufactured home, you still have to pay this rent space. And so it makes it feel like you're just renting. I don't know. But yeah, when the time comes, when I retire, I'll I will do something. I'll get something. Uh, West Webb says, oh wait, I skipped something. West Webb says, so you think you will still drive the truck? I'm still gonna drive. As soon as it's fixed, I'm gonna get back on the road. I guess, I mean, I was so excited about Uber because like I said, it was a great break from, and it's been fun, and I do enjoy it. But once my truck is fixed and it's all roadworthy, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done in that truck. Uh, I think I will get back on the road because it does make more money, a lot more money, and I'm only 62. I think my plan was to drive till at least 67, maybe even 70. I don't think I'm going to go to 70 though, to tell the truth. But maybe do another 5 years, So I might be driving for another 5 years, but who knows? You just never know, right? Um, and then so yeah, I'm going to be driving though, at least another year. KO said I keep shorting it. Maybe at least another 6 months. KO says, meaning if Uber drivers make more than they make more there, they don't. Oh, shoot their golden goose by talking about it because everyone would come here to be an Uber driver. West Webb says, I've been losing a lot more than I make lately, at least on paper. Writing the market down, knowing that it will pick back up in another year or two. It always has. Yeah, I don't do the stock market. The only thing I've ever done, of course, if you've had money in 401ks or whatever, is that what it is? 401k. So that puts your money in the market. And I've seen I don't have that now, but when I was a postal worker, I had that, and I saw my money go up and down in there. So Ken says yes, that was the meeting. West Webb says I retired completely at 63 after subbing for 5 years. So. But yeah, but going back to what I said earlier, Wes, yeah, because I was thinking about if I could start retirement and then still work. I guess you could only work so much. To be considered retired still. So I'm not sure how much that is. Hey, there's King Streets. How's the Tesla? I love the Tesla. I really do. But now I know Kinky Streets, if you're listening still, hopefully you are, you know a lot about these different vehicles. The thing I don't like about the Tesla, okay, is that, and this is the reason why I stopped doing the Uber Eats part of it, because on Uber Eats, which I did like, you got to get out, you got to go grab the food, you get in the back of the truck, you deliver it, you get out of the car, and you run it up to their house or whatever. And so that was giving me a lot of activity that I wasn't getting, that I haven't done in a long time from truck driving, sitting on my ass truck driving. So I really liked the Uber Eats thing because it was getting me walking around and moving around. But when I got into the the Model 3, I stopped doing the Uber Eats because it's just too hard for me to get in and out of that car. It's low to the ground and the door's kind of small, and for me to get in and out, I literally have to bend my body in half, and I have to stretch. Even in the Ford Escape, I could get in pretty easy. But I had to like, but I would have to like crank my neck way over in order to get in. But I could do that. That was pretty easy. But for the Tesla, I literally have to almost get into like the crouching position, and it's really difficult. So I just stopped doing the reads because it was just so much of a hassle to get in and out of that car. So I was thinking if I did get an EV, I might have to get something else. Now I know Tesla makes those Model Y, right? And something that's taller, has a bigger door, but those are very expensive. Like the Model 3, I could probably afford one. That's in my price range, but I don't think a Model Y is in my price range. I think that's way too expensive. I haven't really checked them lately, the prices. But and there are other brands coming out now. You're talking about Kia and Hyundai a lot, um, and I haven't checked the prices on those if they're comparable to Model 3 price. Because the Model 3 price I could afford, I think. But I think anything above that, I don't think I can. So if a Kia or a Hyundai, if they're bigger and have bigger doors and they're easier to get in and out of, and they cost about the same as a Model 3, then I would consider a Kia. So anyhow, let me read what Kiki Streets is saying. Well, here's Wes. He says, my body and energy won't allow me to teach anymore. It takes too much out of me. Well, that sucks, Wes. Yeah, it sucks. Kiki Street says, today started really cool. I was on National Archives chat with Kim Ying. I always have a problem with that name. How do you say it? Well, yeah. The first female GM in Major League Baseball, Marlins, asking her questions, National Archives chat. Cool, that's cool. Kiki Street says, hi, Wes, Ken Jolie. Kiki Street says, Kia EV6 GT Motor, the Motor Week's Car of the Year. I know you've been talking about that a lot. King Street says Kia EV Consumer Reports loves too. West Webb's that one I liked. The one I liked was S Plaid. See, so even the Model S I think is out of my price range, unless I get a used one. And then King Street says S Plaid is a waste. Okay, so buying a used EV, I'm always concerned about, I guess, battery life. Is that the main concern? If you buy a used EV, is that the main concern? And then Kiki Street says, I have a Tesla, Wes, 5 years old in June. So I think if I got an EV, I really do love this Model 3 that I have. I wish I could just keep it. I wish I could, or just buy that one. Because it's like I know that car now, pretty much. Once I'm in it, it's very comfortable. Once I get my big fat body through that door, and I'm sitting in the seat, it's actually very comfortable, very nice. Jolie says, "Oh, hey, have support, John. Thanks so much, Jolie. Buy me a coffee." And now we drink it black, like a man. So anyhow. What was I talking about? I was talking about EVs. So I love the Model 3. I really do. I think it's really cool. I think it's a great car. I love the fact that I can go fill it up for $11 or $10 or whatever. If I fill it up overnight, it would be even less because the rates are cheaper. If I had my own place, then I would set up a charger and just charge it at home. And I think it's even cheaper yet, right? Westwood says, I still have my 2010 Mariner Flex Fuel. Looks like I will have it a while longer. Kikuchi says battery has lost about 12 miles of range in 31,000 miles. So at 90% charge, it has gone from 295 miles to 283 miles over 5 years. So that's not too bad. So let's just say, because I was looking at, or on the Uber driver app, there is a link that takes you to, like, they have dealerships here that sell cars for Uber drivers. So I don't know if you're getting some kind of a built-in little deal or not, or if it's just all bullshit. But anyhow, they had Model 3. They had Tesla Model 3s for sale that were used. They also had a Model S that was used, but it was older and it had a lot of miles on it, like just mileage. They put the mileage down, and but I think that was like somewhere in the 30,000s. That I think, if I remember correctly. Jolie, I saw the things I posted or that I was looking at. Maybe she remembers better than I do. But then there was also Model 3s that were a little bit newer than that S. I think I forget the years, 2018 maybe. Were they like 2018s and they were in the 30s. I was just looking at the ones that were going for like 30, 35, 34,000, 36,000. So I was just wondering if that's a good deal because it seems like aren't the new ones going for like around 40 or 45? So I think for um, if it's only like $5,000 or $10,000 more, I might want to just get a brand new one, right? If I could. So I don't know, but also like I say, the only thing I don't like about it is it is kind of hard for me to get in and out of it, and I was just wondering if either there are other EV models that they're taller and have bigger doors, but then they might cost twice as much. They might be 80,000 or 90,000. I don't think I can afford an 80 or $90,000 car. Uh, so West Web says, does your array plug into the grid, Kinky? And then West Web says, and when are you moving into your new place? Kinky she says, but I also put green tire. I'm not sure. None green tires on it, or no green tires on it. Maybe. I put Michelin sport tires instead of green Goodyears. That came OEM, so that is part of range loss. Michelins are sticky, which takes some range. Kiki Street says, I saw a 2020 Model S long range with 30,000 miles sell for 50,000 on an auction site, Cars and Bids. For 50K, that's a 2020. So that's newer. Yeah, the one that I saw, it was on, well, that was through that link, and it links you to a dealership here in, I think it's Findlay or something dealership. And they had a Model S, but I think it was like a 2016 or something like that. And I think it was like in the mid 30s that they were asking for it. West Sebs, I want to see it and drive it first. So, like, if you bought a new one, because when you're buying Teslas, I guess if you buy a new one, it's pretty much just online, I guess, right? Although they do have showrooms, I think, in some cities. I don't know if you can test drive them or not. But I have seen showrooms, but they're different than like a Ford dealer where you can go and then take a test drive. But the used ones, on the used lots, you could test drive those. Kiki Street says, if I were to buy an EV now, I would probably look at Kia. So how much are the Kias going for, Kiki Streets? Give me a price range. West Webb says, I have Michelins. I like the way they feel more than other tires I've had. I've put Michelins on my truck. They make big truck tires, and I like the Michelins much better than the Goodyears and others that I've tried. It seems like I get a lot more miles out of the Michelins. West Webb says, I want to buy American made. I wonder, Kia and Hyundai, they probably, I think they have manufacturing in America, but I don't know about their EVs. I think they do, but I think they do have some plants for some of their gas-powered cars. I'm not sure if they do any EVs here though. Kiki Streets, I like the Goodyear quiet green tires. They came on my Tesla. The Michelins I replaced Goodyears with were actually cheaper. So if you want an American-made EV, of course Tesla. There's quite a few, isn't there? Isn't there Lucid or something? What's that one? I know they made a plant right next where we're in down by Casa Grande, Arizona. I've seen their plant. I think it's called Lucid or something like that. Kiki Street says Tesla Model 3 is the most American car. Yeah, Lucid, not Lucid. Lucid. I've seen that plant because there's a place. There's a Walmart DC and there's a Orchard Supply or what's that one? Tractor Supply company where I pick up from. That they made a plant right there. So there's Lucid, there's Rivian. They make those trucks and like they have an SUV, but they're pretty expensive. I mean, the Rivians. They start off at about 80 grand, I think, and most people that I've seen once they get them. They're into them for about 95 grand out the door, or close to 100 grand out the door by the time. Like the other day, Hal Sparks was talking about. He just got onto the subject of, you could buy an EV that gets 300 miles of range. And he was talking about he saw a Rivian and how beautiful it was or whatever. And I don't know if he knows, but that Rivian, or it's called Rivian, Kiki Streets, you can correct me on that. If you got a Rivian that got over 300 miles of range, you're probably getting the top battery. So you're probably looking at about 100K for that car. So most people aren't there yet in that price range, I would say. And yeah, the Lucids are very expensive. Model S competitor. West Webb says 22 Lucid Air for sale, 126,000. Yeah, they're expensive, but they are beautiful cars. I've seen videos of them and stuff. And King Street says Rivian. I don't even know what I was saying, but Rivian. And those are pretty cool. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on those. But like I say, I think the starting price is around 85K, and if you get any type of upgrades on it, you're looking at 95 on up. KO says USA made Kia, Hyundai, and Genesis models expected from a Georgia plant by 2025 or earlier. Are those going to be any EVs out of there, KO? Kiki Street says Lucid Air was Motor Trend's car of the year for 2022. Wow. It's a beautiful car, but like I say, you're going to 100 grand and 126 grand. That's out of most people's price range still. I hate to break it to the American auto manufacturers, but 126K and 100K, that's out of most people's price range. A lot of us are still down into the 30s, and that's probably even stretching it. KO says yes, new EV plant. So that's going to be by 2025 or earlier. Kiki Street says anyone buy stocks here? I think West Webb does. I don't. Other than, I do have some mutual funds, I guess, that are some other savings I have. But Sonia, I would like to get an EV, but not. And I do love that Model 3, but like I say, it's not. If I'm going to be going back on the road, and I'm literally gone on the road, at least 90, 95. Sometimes I've even said 98%. It probably is 98% of the time. I'm gone. I'm out on the road, so it doesn't really make sense to buy a vehicle. But if I'm gonna, retire and be home more, then I will. But that might be a few years off yet. I think that'll probably be a few years off. I think I'm gonna go to at least 65 before I really retire. So at least three more years or 2.5 more years, I guess. This coffee's cold now. Uh, so yeah, I love this EV talk, though. But I was just wondering. So Kiki Streets, and that's the thing is, the model I have it's a brand new 2023. I got it. It only had 1,700 miles on it, so it's hardly been used. Right? It's like a brand new Model 3. So let's say if I went down to the dealership and bought a used like 2018 for 32,000 or whatever. Uh, how much of a difference, I wonder, is the like I wonder if I would like it, like maybe it doesn't have as good a technology or whatever, Uh, if I would be really let down and go, gee, I wish I had a 2023. Kikuchi says, I am in Silicon Valley Tesla Club chats, laughing out loud. I call Elon Elmo in those chats. He is watching. On Twitter, sometimes I respond to his tweets, and I just go in there and I just say, "You're a fucking moron." I don't like the guy. I used to like him. That's the thing is, I used to like him. He was much better when he would just pretty much keep his mouth shut. You know, that expression. What's that expression about? Keeping your mouth shut so no one knows what a fucking idiot you are. Uh, Musk should have kept his mouth shut because now we all know what a fucking idiot he is. And yeah, I give him credit for a lot of things. I think starting Tesla was a great thing, and really helping to get the ball rolling on getting us out of internal combustion engines and gas powered engines and things like that. That was important and vital, and I think he should always in the history books be remembered for really getting that going and really getting the United States and therefore the world really going, getting the ball rolling on that. But other than that, the guy's a fucking idiot and an asshole. So there's mixed feelings, I guess. I have mixed feelings about it, but let's see. So yeah, West, because King Street's asking if anyone buys stocks. West says I do. Lose my butt on paper. Kiki Street says VSH MOSFETs by VSH stock. They make the most advanced MOSFETs used in EVs. I don't know what a MOSFET is, but it must be good. Kiki Street says Vishay Technology. West Webb says, I actually mostly buy index funds, worry less than buying individual stocks or bonds. Kiki Street says, I am on, and then so somehow I had skipped these other things because I read the thing there about Kiki Street's laughing at Elon, or they're laughing about what he's saying. Kiki Street says, anyways, I am friends with a North American regional head of Tesla. She runs the entire Northeast region. We email, text, etc. She is excellent. We don't talk about Elmo. Well, that's cool. West Webb says, so many geniuses are inappropriate socially. Yeah, and it's not just being inappropriate. If it was just inappropriate, I would probably still like the guy. But he's just, this whole thing, he's getting political, and he's becoming this kind of a MAGA, MAGA maggot. So fuck him. West Webb says, so many geniuses are inappropriate. Oh, I just read that. Kiki says, I could have been QC manager for Model SX at Fremont plant, but didn't want to move over to Fremont. That's in California. For those of you that don't know, that's right in the Bay Area, basically right next to Oakland. I've driven by that plant many times. That used to be a Toyota plant, I believe. Um, so I don't think so. Kiki says so. In the meantime, I consult for the regional head. Well, that's cool. That's pretty awesome. Um, but I do believe I did ask a question, Kiki Streets, that you haven't answered. But I don't remember what I asked. There's something about if I should buy the used. Kiki Street says yes, it was Toyota GM Numdi plant. Kiki Street says it was a union plant. Yeah, that's another thing about Musk. He's very anti-union, and I've heard that he just treats everybody like shit. Kind of like Steve Jobs. I thought Steve Jobs was an asshole too, but here I am. I've got an Apple iPhone. I've got an Apple iPad. I've got an Apple iWatch. Uh, I love the Apple products, but I think Steve Jobs was another prick. But at least he was just kind of a prick. He wasn't. Of course, if he had lived long enough, he probably would have been probably a maggot, fucking libertarian asshole, uh, or something like that. Some combination of that. But Kikishi says MOSFETs is energy management. Okay, so I guess what I was asking Kiki Streets is, in your humble opinion, if I were to buy, let's say, a 2018 Model 3 for about 30, I forget, I saw those prices on there, 35, let's just say 35,000. Would that be a good deal, or how much more is a brand new Model 3? Because I thought they were still like around 40,000, but I might be a few years behind. Maybe they're 50,000 now. I don't know. I haven't really checked the new prices, so I should just go to the Tesla site. You just check the prices, right? Uh, West Webb says Tesla workers get paid very similar to UAW. Yeah, but they've tried to unionize, and Musk has said basically, I'll just fire everybody. He's very anti-union. Fuck him. He's an asshole. Keegan Chief says all EVs need lots of MOSFETs. Tesla's newest is about 24 MOSFETs. Still don't understand what that means. Kiki Street says, try to buy try to buy an EV that still has Fed tax credit. Oh, that's something to look at. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Fed tax credit. West Webb says the new device is designed to increase power, density, and efficiency in automotive applications, uh, like reverse polarity protection, battery management, high side load switching, as well as LED lighting. And that's all very important so that you can help increase your range. Yeah. West says I'm reading about it right now. Yeah, because that did sound like you just copied and pasted something. So, yeah. West says, no, that was cut and paste, and I just said that. That's so funny. So, I guess if I look at those Model 3s, those used Model 3s they have for sale, I should ask about if there's any federal tax credit left on them. I guess that's a thing, right? Kikushi says, I don't tell everyone this stuff, only like-minded people. Kikushi says about VSH. West Webb says Vishay into technology and recently rolled out a new P channel 100. Okay, now you're getting just to some mumbo jumbo here. In a bid to strengthen this position in the automotive market, Keisha was, I had 5,000 in 1991. That's it. KO says MOSFET is a transistor that can carry high current levels with very little energy loss. One doesn't just turn on a switch. The energy has to be electronically regulated coming from the battery. Yeah, it's kind of like having like an inverter, you know, in a truck. Um, Boy, this is really interesting. EV TikTok here. TikTok. Ooh, instead of TikTok, I should make a social media platform called TikTok. And Kiki Streets and West Web and KO can be my special guests. KO says because that's how you have acceleration instead of rocket launch of your electric car. Oh, okay. Kiki Street says the founder of Vishay was a Holocaust survivor too. Very cool. Oh, yes, his past. Oh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. I feel like sitting under this cooler gave me a cold just now. Like I got a cold in my nose from the stupid air conditioner. I should have shut it off. Um, so Westwood says single and live frugally. All my money will go to my heirs unless I go crazy and buy a Tesla and build my dream house. Go for it, Wes. Fuck your heirs. Buy your fucking Tesla, build your dream house, and live out your final days happy. Your heirs can fucking, you can hand down the Tesla and the house to your heirs, and they can sell it and divvy it up how they want. Um, oh yeah, so I read that already. So anyhow, thanks for being here. We got 6 watching, 10 thumbs ups. Hey, that's pretty cool. Thanks. We got 10 thumbs ups. Kikuchi says, Wes, no mortgage for that house. I earn, I buy. No loans. Hate loans. Yeah, if you can do that, that's the best way. Buy everything in cash if you can. Westwood says, I'm content already. Building a house sounds like too many problems. Well, if you're content, then that's awesome. That's great to be content. I guess the compromise would be, okay, don't build the dream house and just buy the Tesla. KO says, if you simply plugged the battery into the motor, you would go full speed. You have to have electronics read the value resistance from the accelerator, which is done by the electronics which send it. Yeah, otherwise it would just be full go right from the get-go. KO says to the MOSFETs which apply the energy to the motor. Key streets can like potentiometers. LOL. And then KO says, yes, Kiki Streets. Whew, this stuff's going right over my head. But I get it. I mean, I get some of it. But West Web says, that's the only way I would do it too, Kiki. Last mortgage paid off in 2008. Yeah, it's good to be mortgage free. Or mortgage, paid off. KO says, potentiometer, variable resistor. All right. All right. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Yeah. But anyhow, I guess why am I even, I keep going back to the fact that if I'm going to go back to truck driving, which I am, then I'm not going to buy a new car. So why am I even thinking about it? Why am I even wasting Kiki Street's time asking him questions when I'm not going to buy the car because I'm going to be on the road? I'm not going to buy a car if I'm on the road 98% of the time. I keep forgetting that, I guess, because I am kind of um, liking the idea, I guess, of retiring, or at least retiring from truck driving and just being an Uber driver. I think that sounds so appealing, but I'm just not quite ready to do that. I think I've still got a few more years where I need to drive the big truck. I'm not really quite ready to do that yet. So I guess I'm probably a few years away from needing to buy a vehicle. I guess is what I'm saying. So Westweb says, but if I use this money right now, it'd be more expensive since the markets are down. Just hang on to your money, Wes. You're content and happy in your house. You know, if you want to get a Tesla, get the Tesla. You know, maybe you should just be an Uber driver and go rent a Tesla just so you can. It'll. I'm I'm not sure. Like where I was at, all they had Model Threes and they had a Polestar. That's why I was going to ask Kiki Streets. What do you think's a Polestar? Because the Polestar was a little bit cheaper. I think it was like $40 cheaper to rent the Polestar. But I really didn't know anything about Polestar, and I really wanted to check out the Tesla Model 3, so I took the Tesla. But I could go trade this in probably for I think they only had one Polestar. They got about 20 or 30 Model 3s, and I think they only had one Polestar. So, King Streets, if you know anything about Polestar, let me know about that because it was $40 cheaper. Uh, but King Street says at Trucker John okay, so potential blah blah blah, is the volume control on your radio, phone, etc. KO says potential blah, 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 a resistor which has input voltage and output voltage for simplicity. Westweb says considering your options is always a good idea. KO says voltage is potential energy. Potentiometer literally means to meter the electric potential. Kiki Tree says a lighter dimmer is a potentiometer. Westweb says that's all I do, John. Kiki Tree said I guess that was a reference to when I said to save your money or something. I think I said or something like that. Kiki Tree says, but I say keep your house, buy a Tesla. And if you want to try one out, that's where I was going. Become an Uber driver and go rent the Tesla for a week or two. You're going to love it. It's not the same as a Model S, I know, but still. So let's see where we're at. Kiki says the light dimmer, that is. Kiki says, yes, Kiki Streets. Kiki Street says, I like Polestar made on South Carolina. So maybe I should, now that I've gotten a taste of the Tesla, maybe I should trade that in for the Polestar. It'll be $40 cheaper. KO says, and with larger electric systems, rheostat. Westweb says Polestar 3, the SUV for electric age, starting at $83,900. And the Polestar, it definitely, I just walked by it. I didn't get into it, but it looked bigger. And so it might be easier for me to get in and out of that one. So I might go over to Hertz and see if I can trade it in. Because I might be here another week. Kiki says there are cheaper Polestars. KO says, well, it can be a volume control until we get the electronic stepping volume control. Westweb says, yep, I worry about spending money. That's why I'm so jealous of Kiki Streets. Laughing out loud. I always say laughing out loud. Some people say lol. But I just like saying laughing out loud. Anyhow, Kiki Street says, Wes, I live in a 900 square foot house now. That's all you need. That's all I would need. I don't need anything bigger than that. I don't need a mansion. 900 square feet is perfect, I think. Unless you're a young family and you got 13 kids, then okay. But like for me, it's just me. And if I ever get in a relationship with someone, it's just going to be two. We're not going to have kids. West Web says, or no, King Street says, I saved till I could afford to build what I wanted. KO says, welcome to electronics survey class. Yeah, it was kind of reminding me of basic electronics I took in college. At junior college, I took an electronics class. Kikuchi says, Polestar has a far better ride. Check it out. Not as stiff. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, I am loving the Tesla, but it does every little bump you hit, you feel. You do feel that, and the road noise isn't that. Uh, how do you word it? The road noise is a little loud. Let's put it that way. Uh, so Polestar has a far better ride. Maybe I should go check that out if they still have it. They might not even, because they only had one when I was there. West Web says, but everyone's taking the Teslas. That's the thing. Everyone was taking Teslas. Almost every Uber driver I see now out here is got these Model 3s. Let's see, where was I at? Oh yeah, West Web says, I really need a smaller house. This one is 5 bedrooms, 2,400 square feet. Well, Wes, can you sell your house? What's the market like where you're at? I know people are saying the market is crashing. I don't think it's crashing, but prices had spiked. I guess maybe prices are coming down a little bit. I wouldn't call it a crash, but maybe you could. This is your personal business, and you know, I apologize if I'm getting out of bounds here with your stuff. This is your life. It's your thing. But I mean, you can sell the house and then get into something smaller, and then probably have money left over, right? And it doesn't have to be your dream house, but just get a nice house. Just get like a 2 bedroom, because that's what I figure. Because I figure for me, I only need a 1 bedroom, but I would get a 2 bedroom. I guess just have an extra bedroom, like if one of my kids comes over, they want to, stay the night, and then you got like a guest room. So, if both my kids come over, one of my kids is married now, so one of them is going to have to sleep out on the couch, I guess. But anyhow, where was I at in the chat here? West Web, I really just found how. Okay, West Web says, I am terrible with relationships, never succeeded in one. Kiki Street says, new home is not a mansion at all. Oh, no, I wasn't talking about your house. I was talking about, like, if West Webb says he wanted a dream house, whatever. And I don't know what his dream house is. I'm not saying his dream house is a mansion, but I'm just saying, you don't need to get a big giant house. Like 900 square feet, I think is a good size. It's just the most efficient home to be built in Vermont at this point. The State Efficiency Vermont program is overseeing it. Oh, that's awesome. West says, I am jealous that you can rent a Tesla or Polestar. My city is too small, although they keep saying that Tesla is coming to Rockford. Okay, Wes, well, I guess you'll just have to watch my videos. Keep watching my videos. I'll do maybe some more videos with the Tesla, and if I get that Polestar, I definitely will make a Polestar video, and I'll give you my full report on that. Kiki Street says the trouble right now is construction labor. It's hard to find. West Webb says last year I could have sold it for $200K with no improvement. The market is down now. Yeah, the market's coming down a little bit, so I don't know. Kikuchi says places like Idaho, Wyoming have massive problems, not enough construction labor. West Webb says yes, it would have to be someplace nicer and more modern. Just get like a nice town. What about a townhouse or something? Because I've been delivering out here in Vegas, and I've seen some really nice like townhouses and condos that I'm like, wow, I would like to live here. I'd like to find out the prices. It might be out of my price range, I don't know, but there's some really nice ones. let's see. Where was I? West Web. I'm just going to move in with Kiki. West says my mechanic doesn't work on EVs. Well, you really don't need a mechanic. You might need more of like an IT guy than you would need a mechanic, I think. Uh, Kiki Street says, West Web, you are invited. The guest rooms are on the other side of the house, laughing out loud. Kiki Street says, my current home is at peak value still. West Web says, that's what I have been looking at, John, condos. Yeah, I've seen some really nice ones. They're like gated communities. Not in your area, because I haven't been in your area, but out here, I've seen some really nice ones that I think might be affordable. Kiki Street says that Trucker John, you want a video to go viral. Do the Volvo rental Polestar, not a lot of videos on it yet. Yeah, for sure. So I should do the Polestar. I should do that. Oh shoot. I don't know why my watch does that. I'm wondering if I should just do it right now. Instead of, because it seems like Thursday is sort of my contract, my weekly contract with the rental is like, I guess Thursday to Thursday. But I think you could do it anytime. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Because last time I did it on a Thursday. And I was thinking I should have just came in on Wednesday. Because maybe there'd be less. Because there was like a bunch of people in there. I think maybe everyone is on Thursday. I don't know. But maybe I will sometime this week. I wish I should have shut that AC off. I got a cold now because of the AC. But I think I will. If they still have the Polestar, then maybe I will. I just wasn't sure if Polestar, because I saw the Polestar. They had it parked there in front of Hertz, and I just hadn't really heard much about them. I wasn't sure if it would be reliable or whatever. And Tesla's been around long enough where I just felt like it would probably be a good car. And it is. I love that car. I want to marry that car. But yeah, maybe I should try the Polestar just because everything I've been doing these last few weeks with Uber is all about kind of like experimenting with and just finding out about Uber. And then also, as an offshoot of that, I'm finding out about Tesla. Now maybe I can find out about Polestar. So Polestar was a division of Volvo, and it says still connected. Kiki Street says the Polestar might not be as fast as the Model 3, but it is quite well built. Yeah, I mean, as long as it goes 65 miles an hour on the freeway, I mean, that's all I do. I mean, there's been a couple of places where I was at a remote place where I just sort of punched it when I was by myself. I wouldn't do that with a customer. And I just did like zero to, I don't know, I looked at the speedometer, it was like 67. I think I did it in it seemed like a second. I don't even know. Who knows? I just wanted to test that out. And so it's really super fast. The fastest I've only taken it up to about 90 miles an hour. That was by myself. I don't know what the top speed is on that thing, on the Tesla. I don't even want to. I don't care. So my point is I mean, I'm not racing it. I'm not drag racing it. So I mean, if the Polestar will do freeway speeds, and of course, the majority of the driving is just on surface streets anyhow, where I'm just going 20, 30, 35 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour at the most, usually. If that, if it could do that, then that's all I need. And plus, then every now and then you hop on the freeway, and so I'll go 65 if I can, if traffic permits. I'll go 65 or 70 at the most. So if the Polestar could do those type of speeds, that's all I need. I don't need a race car. So West Webb says another retired teacher sold her house and rents a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for $1,800. Do you want to rent? I'd rather buy if I could. That's why I think I'd rather buy a townhouse or a condo or a manufactured home or something like that. West Webb says lots of condos in her complex are empty. Well, do you want to rent, Wes? But whether there's reasons to rent. Uh, West says 2023 Model S dual motor all wheel drive 124-mile odometer Chicago $91,370. Wow. That's like a brand new car. West says no, I could buy in the same. Oh, okay. So what are they going for? I mean, they're ready for 1,800, but what? How much can you buy one for? But so yeah, I think I might go get that Polestar then, and then and then by then I'll do another week. Like let's say from Thursday, I'll do another week, or I could turn it in early. I could always yeah, so I could just always turn it in early. There's nothing wrong. They say 169, but then I think you have to finish it. So probably if you sold your house, you would probably have enough to just buy that cash, right? And uh, maybe have money left over to finish it. Right? Yeah, then there's the HOA. See, that's another thing. I hate HOA fees, but if the HOA association is good and run right, and they're not ripping off your money, and they're actually using it to maintain the grounds and maintain security and all that kind of shit, then I guess it's worth it. West Webb says my property taxes are $6K a year. Yeah, so if you went to the townhouse, that would be a lot cheaper, right? Uh, so the HOA fees, yeah, that's something to consider. But like I say, if it's a good complex and the HOA board members or whatever the fuck they're called know what they're doing, they're not assholes, and you can hold their feet to the fire. I know what's his face doesn't like that expression, but fuck him. Um, that it goes to a good cause, I guess. West Webb says townhouse fees and taxes would equal a little less. Okay, so just make sure you've got money set aside to cover that. Kiki Street says no HOA fees for me, thank goodness. West Webb says torture. Yeah, does like Hal doesn't like torture metaphors. Oh, boo hoo, Hal, boo hoo. It's a fucking metaphor to make a point. Anyhow, I still like Hal. Don't get me wrong. I still like the guy. He's funny. He's a funny guy, and he's smart. I just don't agree with everything he says, which is fine. You're not supposed to agree with 100% of anybody, like Wes Webb and Kiki Street and KO and Jolie and everybody. Uh, I bet you we agree on probably, I mean, who knows, 80%, 85% of the things out there in the world we probably are in agreement on. doesn't mean because 10 or 15 or percent that we don't agree on doesn't mean I'm gonna just hate you. But it does depend on what that 10 or 15% is, right? If the 10 or 15% that we have disagreement on is that, let's say this other person, this is a hypothetical, if we were agreement about like 85% of things, we're all copacetic, but then you agree that I don't know, slavery should be brought back, then I'm probably gonna say, okay, fuck the other 85%. You know, that kind of washes all that out, right? I don't know. That was probably a weird hypothetical, but anyhow, Westwood says twist your arm behind your back, stick a needle in your eye. Kiki Street says new Teslas have 150K 8-year mileage warranty on battery, electric motor. Older like mine have a 8-year unlimited mileage warranty on battery, electric motors. Mine is dual motor, all-wheel drive, too. Kiki Tree says 150,000 mile warranty. I mean, 150,000 a year warranty. Yeah. So it's come down a little bit on the new ones. Westbrook says you have to remember I like Jimmy Dore. Fascinated how he will change his tune for the right money. Why do you like him for that? I think the guy's an asshole. I think he's a sellout, phony. I don't like anything about Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore is the kind of guy that if you saw him, you'd want to. I'm not saying to do this, but you'd want to just punch the guy right in the mouth because he's disgusting. But I'm not saying to do that because that's against the law to assault people physically. Kikishu says never watched Dore or Brand. I really the only times okay within the last few years that I've ever watched them is on the clips that Hal Sparks plays. But before Hal Sparks I was watching. I mean, I remember watching Russell Brand videos like I don't know 5 years ago and he actually seemed pretty reasonable then. So he did a turn too, where he's like, okay, or someone got into his ear and said, you could really turn this thing up. You could really go viral. You could really get millions of followers if you just say these certain things. And so he changed. And then Jimmy Dore, I remember him just back in the TYT days, and he would be on a panel with Jeek and Anna and whomever else was on there, and he was just this kind of swarmy little asshole. You know, I mean, I never really thought much of him at all. He would just chime in with his little 2 cents worth, his little, you know, smarmy comments. So I never really was impressed with him at all. And then when he left TYT and started doing his own thing, I never watched him. I have only seen the clips from Hal Sparks, but that's more than enough. I think that's more than enough. West Webb says he's entertaining, reading lines for cash. He's so sincere in whatever he says. That's got to be sarcasm, Wes, right? Was that sarcasm? West Webb says Brand used to be on talk shows more often, same personality, just not so off the wall. I don't have to agree with somebody to enjoy them. No, but when they say some pretty, like, I would say in Jimmy Dore's case, inflammatory. In Russell Brand's case, just wacko bullshit that people actually take to heart, and he's actually misleading them. It's not about agreeing or disagreeing, just having to agree with them. It's about their intent and about what they're doing to people, as far as like giving them false information and misleading them. That's the problem. And when they have such huge followings, that's kind of scary to me. King of Chief says, I got hobbies. Don't listen to those I disagree with. Wait, let me reread that. I got hobbies. Okay, you got hobbies. Don't listen to those I disagree with. Okay. It's kind of okay. That's great. West Webb says, I go in the chat when he is live and say the same stuff. Lots of folks do the same. You go into whose chat? Jimmy Dore's chat? Russell Brand's chat? My chat? Whose chat? What chat? Who the hell are you chatting? Who the hell you? Who that chat? King Street says Ron DeSantis banned the book, The Storyteller, written by Jodi Picoult about the Holocaust. Yeah, and Ron DeSantis is a prick. And he's a moron. And he's trying to out MAGA the maggots. And it's not going to work. Not in a general election. If he's running for president, it's not going to work. If the Democrats had put up a better candidate in this last election, I don't think he would have won. Charlie Crist was the better candidate. Or in terms of course, policy positions and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think Ron DeSantis is going to be around. You know, he's not going to make it. He's not going to become president. He's going to get eventually ousted from being the governor. I don't think he's going to go much further than what he's gone. West Webb says Rhonda will be a laughingstock by the time 24. Yeah, I agree. He already is, kind of, with his boots and his stupid. The man can't wear a suit. He looks like a moron. He talks monotone. That's just that. Let alone all of this fucking like fascist bullshit he's doing. Keegan Street says, yes, John, I'm responding to Wes. Wes watches Door, etc. I got no time for that nonsense. Time is limited, at least for me. Hobbies like model building, wood sculptures, etc. Well, you got your priorities. That's what it is. I appreciate you taking the time to be here in the Trucker John chat. There's probably a lot better things you can be doing with your time than being here. So I appreciate it. But yeah, I don't like. It's not about agreeing or disagreeing or whatever, but it's like, what kind of bullshit are they putting out? And how many people? It's like Glenn Beck. Not even nowadays. Glenn Beck is, I don't know what, he still has millions of followers or whatever. And that all goes back. I mean, those are just, I think I don't know what his like new followership looks like, or if he's just been maintaining. Because if you go back, like, let's say 10 years ago, he was the guy. Really, I mean, he was one of the top, like right-wing talk show hosts in all the formats. I mean, there was TV, there was radio, like actual over-the-air radio, and then now he's mainly just seems like internet, right? But he had the Blaze, all that shit. He built up all that shit, and he had followers that were just like devotees. They really. He has a followership now. Like, I don't know. I think he's just been maintaining that. I don't know if he's been growing, but if you go back 10, 15 years ago, he had a really big spike, I guess, in followers and viewers and people just listening to every word and hanging on every word that he would say. But it was horse shit, and people were still buying his horse shit. You know, so I don't know. I don't know. It's just kind of a scary thing that these guys get such these big followings, and people really do become uh, almost like zealots or for these people. They really so it's one thing to listen and just check it out, but then there are people that become these hardcore followers, and you listen to them call into the show, and the way they heap praises onto them, and you can just tell that they're really hang on every word and everything. It's just for guys like Glenn Beck and Jimmy Dore and Russell Brand, and they're just hawking horse shit, and people just they just gobble it up. It's just that's what's kind of scary and sad, and Okay, so anyhow, Kiki Street says DeSantis was out of breath throwing a baseball. Yeah, and he's a younger guy. Like for me, you know, you can cut me some slack if I get out of breath. But when I was his age, shit, I could knock the shit out of somebody still. Kiki Street says, Jolie says, yep, you have to keep coming to John's, Kiki. You're the only other Trucker John OG. Oh yeah, Kiki Streets has been here from the beginning. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Kiki Street says, John, chatting here is not wasting my time. This is like-minded chat, learning from others. I learned nothing from Brand, Dor, Beck, etc. Well, I appreciate you being here. And I appreciate all you guys for being here. I really do. Westwood says, I used to play piano all day long, but my hands and back won't let me anymore. Still writing silly songs, but don't practice to perfection. Well, Wes, you just do what you can do. I can't play football anymore. I would love to go put on the pads, put on the gear, and I would love to go bang heads and knock the shit out of people, but I can't do that anymore. So I do what I can. I just do whatever I can do. And right now, I guess it's just sitting in a chair gabbing. But that's a terrible analogy. I guess I kind of botched that. In other words, like you used to play piano all the time. Maybe you can't play so long, but maybe you can still play an hour. Maybe you can still play a half an hour. Maybe you can still play 2 hours. Whatever it is. Maybe it's not as long as you used to be able to play, but just do whatever you can do and find enjoyment in that half hour or hour or whatever it is that you can actually spend on it. Do what you can do. You just do it. That's what we do. We get old, and we just do what we can do, and try to just enjoy whatever it is that we can do. King Street says, I had friends at Fox News in broadcast engineering. They told me Beck was going to be fired 2 weeks before he was. I was abusing his Facebook fans at that time. When he was fired, I dropped the mic. That's funny. King Street says, quit that platform. Facebook. Okay. West Webb says, I tried to chat on Divided We Stand the other day, Kiki, but nobody could see me. Oh, that's, oh yeah. I always miss that one. I went on there that one time, and then it seems like whenever he's on, I'm doing something else. But I like that channel. Kiki Street says, West Web, really? Were you blocked? Street says, that's cool. That's not cool. Who blocked you? Jolie says, I stopped by Divide We Stand. I didn't see anyone I knew, so I left. And then Wes says, I must be, when you vouched for me that one time, I got in, but otherwise I can't. And then Kiki Street says, strange, I will be there next weekend if there's a show. DWS used to be better with guests and another guy, David. He hasn't been on in a year, though. And then Wes says, I do play still. It just hurts. Well, that sucks that it hurts. That really sucks. Wes Webb says, I still have a week longer that I can't post on Facebook. Still can't find out what my friends are doing. You know, on Facebook, I still have my Facebook account. And I just go on there just to check my notifications and stuff. But I don't really do much on Facebook. I just keep an account. You know, people say I shut the account. It doesn't really hurt anything for me to have the accounts, you know. So I just keep them, but I don't really use them all that much. So it seems like the ones I mainly go on, I still go on Twitter a lot. People are always bashing Twitter, even though Elon Musk is an asshole. But still, I go on. I just check. You know, I like the Twitter feeds still, and I watch those. And then YouTube. It seems like YouTube and Twitter are my two main kind of social media things that I do. But you know, I've downloaded all of the social medias, but I don't really. The ones I just use the most are Twitter and YouTube, I think. West Web's. Oh, I got rid of that. I read that already. So anyhow, it's 11:22 here in the Pacific time zone. I've been on for about 2 hours. I think I'm probably gonna go ahead and call it into this. I might head over to Hertz. Maybe not today. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe I'll see about trading in that car. Maybe I'll see if I can trade the Tesla in for a Polestar if they still have it. Like I said, I only saw one. I don't know if they have more than one, but I only saw the one, and it seems like everybody wants the Teslas, so it might still be there. I guess I could call ahead. That would be what a smart person would do, instead of running over there. But anyhow, I'll find out. And I apologize for the nose thing, and it's kind of probably gross watching a guy do this all the time. But I think the cooler gave me a cold. People say that's not how colds happen, but why is it that all of a sudden I got a cold? Anyhow, not to change subjects. So yeah, I might go ahead and see about getting the Polestar. If I do, I will post videos on it. So be sure to look for the videos. I might do a live stream from it. So that might be exciting to see another EV. I'll update you on my truck. So far, my truck is not ready. It was supposed to be ready last Friday. It's Tuesday. I don't know what's taking so long. They told me it was going to be done. I don't know. But that's the way it always is. They say 2 days and it ends up being a week or whatever. It's getting more and more cloudy out here, it seems like. If we want to turn the camera around. Turn around. There we go. Looks like it's getting a little cloudier. I don't know if we're going to get some rain today or not. We might be getting a little rain up here in Vegas. Kiki Street says, Brian, who runs DWS, has friends in Ukraine and Russia. Don't know why he doesn't discuss that each show. Yeah, that'd be interesting. West Webb says, I always have sinus stuff going on. Kiki Street says, the Tesla Powerwalls and the 41 solar panels automatically integrated with my Tesla a car app when they were connected to internet. That was really cool. That does sound really awesome. Wes Webb says, not a cold, just a chronic condition. Had surgery, so at least I don't get so many infections. KO says, we're still here. We don't care about those nose twitching as long as we don't turn into goats. Thankfully, you're not Elizabeth Montgomery. Oh, yeah. Jolie's dropping the. Oh, the PayPal. Oh, thanks, Jolie. Support the show. Let's keep the show going. Let's keep it rolling. That's help support the show. Suzanne for Yeppy says, sorry I'm late. Good afternoon. Well, you just got here just as we're about ready to head out, Suzanne. You got here just in time for the goodbyes. It's all over but the shouting now. KO says, Keith Oberman had great experience with Elizabeth Montgomery. Really cool story. Really? And Suzanne, Jolie says hi to Suzanne. Wes Webb says, so cool, King Streets. Did I miss you saying that it is connected to the grid? And then King Street says, Wes Webb, it's connected to grid, so I make net credits from it. Yeah, you can you reverse it, right? KO says, next time King Streets or email. Okay, so here's the plan, Stan. Thursday, we're doing Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is the show that you should go to if you're used to watching House Sparks at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. This is filling the void of House Sparks not being here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So I hope I have filled the void in some way or fashion, some manner. And also I've brought my own little spin to it. Because House Sparks doesn't eat McDonald's food on camera like I do. No one quite does that like I do. Wes Webb I think that's a hug. I think that means hugs to Suzanne from Wes. King Street says, hi, Suzanne. And Wes says, thank you for filling the void. And, Suzanne has not been feeling well. I'm sorry to hear that, Suzanne. I hope you get better. I hope you feel better. I don't know what's going on, but because I was going to say, drink some tea. Everyone says drink tea or have some soup. But I don't know what it is. But I hope you're feeling better. I hope you get better soon. I know I've been finding some sort of weird cold and cough thing I've had for like a couple weeks now. This stupid cough all of a sudden starts coming. So that sucks. Jolie's laughing. Glad to see Jolie's laughing. I don't know if it's me or Wes or just all of us. But Wes says, yep, old-fashioned ale, CompuServe hug. Oh, okay. You're going way back there, Wes. Suzanne says, tree pollen, that's like the allergies and stuff. It's really bad here in Southeast Texas. Yeah, those allergies can be a real pain in the butt. Kiki Street says, Wes Webb, this spring we will move out of existing home and put it up for sale, moving to new home. Good luck on that, Kiki Streets, and congratulations. It sounds like you're really excited about going to that new place, and it sounds like a great place. Jolie says, me and Suzanne feel better. So Jolie, I hope you feel better too. Wes says, I was an AOL pioneer through the EDA. KO says, Wes Webb likes his hugs, like the song by Creed, Arms Wide Open. Kingstree says, I bought the current home 2004 with the VA administration. It was a foreclosure, empty for 4 years. Oh, wow. Probably had a lot of work to do on that. And Wes says, I like that song too, kid. Yeah, I like that song. I did a for an acting class I was in, I did a scene and I used that song in my scene. I think I have it on video somewhere. Maybe I'll post it someday because such a great actor. I was such a great actor. I'm just kidding. KO says, to my potential next love, you've got mail instead of mail. That's funny. That's a funny play on words, Ken. All right, guys. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put an end to this train wreck. The only thing that has made it worthwhile is you guys. Let's just be frank about that. If it wasn't for you guys, this would have been horrible. But you guys have made it really nice. I've enjoyed. I know a lot of times I'm on the road or I'm driving and I can't read the chat. I can't see the chat. I can't read the chat. I can't respond to the chat. So it was nice today to be able to sit here and actually just chat with you guys. I really enjoyed these last 2 hours. Just kind of flew by, and I've enjoyed just shooting the shit with you guys and just letting the conversation go wherever it would go, and it was really nice. So uh, I enjoyed it, and might be more the same on Thursday. I don't know. It might be from a room. It might be from the Blueberry Hill. It might be it might be in the Polestar if I am able to get that. So we'll just have to see. We'll see what the future brings. We'll see what Thursday brings to us. So anyhow, I planned on being here on YouTube in the live stream. Where I'm gonna be, I'm not really exactly sure. But let's plan on meeting back here at about 9 a.m. Pacific time. So whatever time zone you're in, adjust accordingly, and I'll see you. So without much further ado, dragging this out, I want to thank everyone for being here. We got 11 thumbs ups. Make sure that you like, make sure you subscribe, and hit the share button. And let's try sharing. Sometimes I do that. I go on other people's streams and I'll hit the share button and just share it to my community page, or I'll share it to my Twitter page, or I'll share it to my YouTube page, or my Facebook page, or whatever. So let's experiment with that, because I don't think people really do hit the share button all that much. So let's start hitting the share button and just see if it has an impact. I'd be interested to find out if it does or not. All right, guys. So that's it from Las Vegas, Nevada, right here in good old Las Vegas, Nevada, at the good old Strat, at the good old Stratosphere. You can see there's the tower. There it is, way up there. That's the very top, very tippy top of the Stratosphere. I'm up here on the 24th floor, and I will see you guys at least by Thursday. All right, bye bye.